From Ashland, Oregon, home of William Shakespeare and progressive politics, and broadcasting live from the Southern Oregon University Digital Media Center and the RVTV studio, it's the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show, and recorded before a non-existent studio audience with a skeletal crew of certified public access producers. You can expect to see tonight's guests, whoever they may be, the Glamour Dave Comedy Players, and the Rogue Valley Public Access Orchestra. Now, here's your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow.
All righty. Well, hello, Rogue Valley, and welcome back to another edition of the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show. I'm your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow. This is the first new shows for this quarter here at RVTV. And we're starting off with having a couple of friends of mine for this first half of the show. I've got my mother, Dorothy Nienow, who's my guest sidekick for the evening. And then I'm going to have fellow producers of RVTV. I got Regina Ayars as my first guest, and then we're going to have Charles Douglas, the boss of all of us producers here at the studio. So that's our first half of the show, and so let's get the show started. So, all righty, so there's my mother, there's Regina. Let me plug in here to our lowbrow audio sound check system and get plugged in here and get the show going. Okay, come on. There we go.
Come on, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. All righty.
Okay.
Well, Regina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be on.
Yeah, well, you've been helpful working behind the scenes,
have.
not only on this show, but on all my other shows.
I've been crew many a time.
That's right, yeah. And you're always been very helpful, and I appreciate very much all that help that you've given me during my work here
You're
at the
welcome.
studio. So,
You're welcome.
So let's talk about what's going on in the life of Regina Ayars.
Wow, what's going
that's a
on?
big
Well, it was such a
question.
glorious day today.
Yeah, it was,
I
yeah.
was outside and did a little gardening. I've got lots of tulips in my yard, and
Okay.
I enjoy a little bit of that. Do you have tulips in your yard?
I have no yard, but I
Yeah.
love tulips.
Yeah.
You'd love to have some tulips.
I would love to have
Okay,
some.
you'd love to have some tulips. So that was what I was doing today,
Yeah.
but normally I do girl talk
Yeah.
on the radio.
Yeah,
You know, I'm on
that's right.
KSKQ on
Yeah.
Sundays at noon.
Yeah.
And then I have girl talk with Carol Boyson here on Rogue Valley TV. In fact, we're going to be recording a show tomorrow.
That's right, yeah.
And other than that, I do a little singing here and there.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And I haven't been traveling lately. So that's something I need to start thinking about again. I'm going to Austin, Texas
Oh, cool.
in September, first week of September.
Oh, what are you going to do in Austin,
Well,
Texas?
I keep in touch with some women's friends from high school.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I know
incredible.
it's hard to believe, but yes, I do.
Yeah.
And we try to go someplace every year. And this year we're going to go to Austin, Texas. I've been there once on business a long time ago. So I'm looking forward to some barbecue.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've got a former model client of mine that moved to Austin several years ago. And so she lives there, and I've never been there, but it always seems like that'd be like kind of like the next best place after Vegas to go to for a guy like me, based on what I know of Austin.
Okay. I wouldn't say the next best place after Vegas, but everybody has their own taste.
Well, you know, they got fine food, they got fine music, they got a lot of sporting activities, they got the the Great American racetrack that was installed a few years ago down there, where all the Formula races and IndyCar races and a lot of big races take place there. That's a pretty exciting venue. I'd love to go there sometime.
Now that's at mine.
Well, as a matter
We'd
of
love
fact,
to do that.
my niece's husband, who's Italian, works for, well, he used to work for Ferrari, now he works for Lamborghini.
Oh.
And they moved him from Van Nuys in Southern California to Vegas.
Yeah.
I think because of that racetrack that's there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, Vegas has got a really big racetrack too, and so there's lots of, those are like two big race cities,
Yeah.
you know, for the quality of the tracks that they have to offer. So, yeah, I'd love to make it down there sometime, you know. So,
Great.
you know, I'm a big blues fan, so there's some really great blues clubs down there. And, and I love barbecue, and hey.
Take your camera,
That's
get
right.
lots of
I'll
pictures.
take my GoPro camera.
Oh,
you know?
yes,
I'll
yes.
put it on. I went for a bicycle ride. My first bicycle ride today
Yeah?
of the season.
Uh-huh.
I have an electric bike because I live up in the hills.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And while I was riding, going fast for me down Gresham, I thought, I need to put my GoPro on my helmet.
Oh,
There you go.
Yes.
And I'll start recording my bicycle rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, those GoPros are really quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay, well, now, so you got, now tomorrow afternoon you're producing new episodes for Girl Talk.
We are,
And
Carol and I.
And who are your guests tomorrow?
Okay, we have one woman that's coming in. Her name is Tanya. Oh God, I don't want to say Tanya Graham because that's the woman that's on the Ashland City Council. I've got her in June. Tanya Morrow.
Oh, okay.
She ran for Senate. Would be in maybe 2012. That's the same year I ran for City Council.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's going to be on, right now she is on the commission for the Rogue Valley Transportation District. So she's going to talk about that. And then she is chair of Jackson County Democrats. So she's going to talk about that also. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
And
gearing
so
up.
is she your guest for the whole?
She's going to be on both segments.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And so what are the particular issues to be brought about in this discussion tomorrow afternoon? Is it just kind of the current latest stuff going on in the city government, or?
Well, I'm sure that the Rogue Valley Transportation District is looking for funding. They're always looking
Yeah,
for
that's
funding.
right, yeah.
And so there may be some, it couldn't be necessarily bills in front of Jackson County commissioners, but I think she might talk about some of the routes that need to be expanded,
yeah.
schedules that need to be expanded. You know, we just don't have enough public transportation in Rogue Valley.
Right,
A
yeah.
lot of places, but here we don't have it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'll talk about the need there and looking for support from the community. Yeah. And then Jackson County Democrats, we've got a 2020 election coming up. And there'll be some candidates running on the Democratic Party. And I think she'll talk about that a little bit.
All right, and then in addition to your Girl Talk show, you have Getaway Girl, which is
Oh, yes, I have another show.
yeah,
Yes.
you've got two shows here.
I have
Regina,
two shows.
So we might as
Plus
well
your
max it
radio
out here
show.
on this interview and get
Okay.
exposure for both your shows. So
Well, Getaway Girl is a travel show.
yeah,
And you know very well what it's about because you crew on it. And the last one, we ran a little bit over
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I just had too much. I went to Alaska.
Oh, the GoPro. Now that was
That was where I used my
beautiful.
GoPro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went kayaking and hiking in Alaska, and I had my GoPro on my helmet, so that when I'm paddling, I can look this way at the otters and I can look this way at the gulls, and it was fun. There was a learning curve involved.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and so what shows have I done so far? I've done Walking the El Camino in Spain.
Yeah.
And I did Gorillas and Chimpanzees in
Yes.
Rwanda and Uganda.
Yes, which features some really fine gorilla sex.
Oh, now
And yeah.
that was a PG rated show.
Have you ever been to Africa, Dorothy?
Oh, no, I wish. I would love to. I would love
Get
to.
David to take you to Africa.
Oh, you are kidding.
Oh man,
It's wonderful. If you love animals, I know you have a dog.
Yes,
If you love
yes.
animals, you will love.
To see the animal life,
Yes,
the lions,
the
and the
elephants
tigers, and
and
the giraffes, and
everything.
Oh,
Leopards.
Yeah.
I've been to Botswana and to Uganda and Rwanda.
See, the closest I've ever come is like San Diego Zoo, and then Florida. We went to SeaWorld, and we got to go see Animal Kingdom. And I loved the meerkats. I loved the penguins. We had so much fun. Yeah. We got to go in the back and see them work with the animals and where they feed and this type of thing. Oh, it was just an awesome
Yeah, it's
trip.
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Animals in the wild are really fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
They are. They are.
Yeah, many years ago, I was down in San Diego, and I took a day to go to the San Diego Zoo, and that was really an amazing experience. And the most amazing part for me was the bird, or there was a bird sanctuary, aviary, big thing that you could walk in and you could see all these just an amazing variety of birds and butterflies that were just like all over, and that was like just amazing. And then the penguin exhibit was really fascinating.
Yeah.
And that was like, those were the two things that really stood out for me.
And I got to swim with the dolphins, which was
Now see, I've never done that.
that was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
great.
Yeah,
was
my
really
mother
fun.
went to Florida with her brother when he was dealing with cancer, and so they took a trip together for they were in Florida for about a month. Just really,
It was his last trip, and I
great.
mean, we traveled and we saw things, and we just didn't have an agenda, but it was just a wonderful trip.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
I think there's a new
Yeah.
movie coming out about penguins. I read about that.
yeah.
Yeah, they remember that big hit where Morgan Freeman was the narrator, and that was a very popular movie. Not the Last Emperor, although it was about emperor penguins. Yeah, penguins are fascinating creatures.
Yeah. So, God, Mike, where are we at in the time?
You have 15 minutes left.
Okay, so Regina, we're coming to the end of this interview before I have Charles, our boss of us producers, come in.
Yes.
So we, you know how this works.
I do know how it
right?
works.
So I have my little comic thing.
Okay.
So you have your choice of having an awkward moment.
That doesn't sound good.
Right? You
No.
can toot your own horn with one of the cheap plastic $1 horns.
Yes.
Or you can go for the small cash prize of 100
How
pennies.
small is it?
It's this small. It's 100 pennies.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
could redeem that
yeah.
for a lottery ticket or something.
What are the categories?
Well, my categories tonight, I've got 4. So there's Harry Potter,
Oh, no, that's not for me.
Doctor Who,
That's not for me either.
Sex and the City,
Well, maybe.
or the 2000s.
Shoot. I'll take Sex and the City.
Okay. All righty. All righty. So
that can go towards your next vacation.
that's right. Yeah. So the following question comes to us via Gmail from the show's ancestral home of the Nienow clan in Mapleton, Minnesota. Crater Lake is the 5th oldest national park in the United States and the only national park in Oregon. The lake is 1,949 feet deep at its deepest point, making Crater Lake the deepest lake in the United States and the 9th deepest in the world. Your trivia question tonight is, in the category of Sex and the City, is what was Mr. Big's movie star's girlfriend's name?
Mr. Biggs,
Movie star girlfriend's name.
her real name or her stage name?
Well, her character name.
her character name.
Yeah.
That's an easy question.
I know, I thought it was when I picked it. And mind you, I've got
I know her
28,000
real
questions.
name is Sarah Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know it. I should get 50 cents for that.
No, you gotta have the character's name.
Carrie.
Oh,
Carrie.
Carrie Fisher.
No.
No, that's
it was
she's
Carrie.
dead.
No.
It was
No,
Carrie.
we need the character's name.
Carrie, Carrie Bradshaw.
No, it's Willow.
Carrie Willow?
No, just the character's name is Willow.
I don't remember a Willow.
There's no Willow in that movie.
Yeah, in the series. We're talking about the TV show
No,
series.
no, I
Yeah.
want to Google check on this.
No, I
I've
got
never heard of a Willow.
Yeah.
Her name was Carrie.
I got this question.
Somebody Google
I
that.
got this question
Check it
directly from the
out.
Sex and the City trivia game.
Somebody Google that.
Well,
Yeah.
later. Okay. Well, that's
a
it
win
for
by
that.
default because you had the wrong answer.
No,
He had
it's-
the wrong
no,
answer.
I'm taking the questions and answers directly out of the Sex and the City TV show game.
Okay, I want you
one
to,
of-
we're on the break, the 3-minute break. We're going to check it out, and you're going to have to make a mea culpa in the next show.
Yes.
Well, it's at this point, it's time for our esteemed boss of us public access producers, Charles Douglas, to come on to the show.
Our fearless leader.
So, yeah. So
We couldn't
Charles,
do
where
without him.
are you?
Here he comes.
Charles.
There he is.
Charles.
Oh,
Okay. Ah, there you go. Okay.
well, we're
All right.
going
So
What, no theme music? I want some Hawaii 5-0.
no, we're not that far into our budget, you know.
Okay.
So, Charles, you specifically asked to come on this show, and you don't come on anyone's shows
Well,
normally.
I think it was more like a dare, like a bet.
Uh huh.
So Cosmo, you owe me $5. Where's my camera? Where's my camera?
Okay.
Where do I plug in?
Down here.
Down here.
You got it?
What kind of situation's going on here, Dave?
Well, the original plan was that Regina would move down, you would sit here.
So
but
Regina
No,
sabotaged all
no.
of this.
Well,
yeah, no, his
so-
mic is over there.
I don't know.
So
This
Regina,
is
how about you
live.
swap
This
to
is
that?
live
oh,
TV.
how about, no, I'm
And
Jerry
this is
Ridley.
live
There it
on
is.
Road Valley, so
There.
yeah.
How is it I have the most clumsy entry in the history of the show?
Oh well, Charles, this show's from the outset designed to be loose and clumsy,
Here,
anyways.
And we didn't practice this.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah, no, so best laid plans. We just, that's why we got like the boom mic to cover. There you go.
Where's your mic now?
I got it.
You're still plugged in.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay, are you playing?
Yeah,
Okay.
We've got extra
Wow.
mics on the floor here.
yeah.
That was
This
a
is-
smooth
yeah.
transition.
Where's the
Dave.
studio
well-
manager? Where's Keegan?
here's-
This is an unsafe
It's
situation.
all,
Yes, yes.
it's
here's
just part
mine.
of the comedy of the show.
All right, Keegan, get in here. We got a mic on the loose. This is some valuable state property going on here. Okay.
What's going on? There?
Dorothy, I trust you. No
Oh,
one
good.
else.
Here he comes.
Okay,
else.
okay.
Here he comes.
I,
All righty.
I can keep it safe. No
And they get
problem.
complimentary water.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, this mic right here.
So
It's
just take.
unused.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, good
Okay.
job.
All right. Okay. So what's up, Charles? What brought you
What is up? What is
onto the show?
Well, I have
He's
I have a
$5
couple of I have
richer.
a couple of things to show off. I
Okay.
brought some party gifts.
Okay.
One, the name on here is not yours, nor mine. So
Yeah.
we have that in common.
Yeah.
The name here, Philip McClung, who is no longer the producer of this show. Even better. But the new guy's name is Philip Cardin. So
Yeah.
hey, they got one name right. Good enough. And this was the Best of the Northwest winner plaque right here
Yeah.
for last year. So
Right,
not
okay.
from this year, but from last year, the Best of the Northwest winner for inspirational and religious show.
Yes.
There's a pretty picture on the ACM, the Alliance for Community Media Northwest website, that showed me holding this thing up, but I
Yeah.
never actually got to show it on local television.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
the reason I'm doing that is not only to thank and bless the Naz, I think that's right, for a
Yeah.
religious show, for winning Best of the Northwest for a faith and spirituality show, as George waves his arms around madly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're down 10 minutes.
I'm not pointing a gun at you, man. You don't need to surrender. It's okay. You're not even French. Anyway, also, I'm also doing that because Best of the Northwest just released their 2019 winners. Now, we don't have the plaques yet, but there will be a plaque in the mail,
Yes.
special delivery to this gentleman right here, Mr. David Nienow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank goodness
That's
it's
right.
not for this show. Yeah, thank God for that. No, it is for the small interview. Surprise, surprise, the small interview, a
That's
much
right.
smaller interview than this.
That's right. Yeah.
Just one, I believe, was it for Best Talk Show in the
That's right.
Northwest?
That's right. Yeah.
who the hell voted on this?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Do you
gotta
know
let me
how much we had to bribe?
Yeah, I know. That was, I had submitted the pilot episode for that series, and I had invited Leah Dougal, who's one of our fellow producers here.
Don't say her name 3 times.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
And she also has Cafe Girl Productions, and so Leah is like my Bill Murray. She was my first guest on this show. She was my first guest for the small interview. She's also been on my Rogue Artisans and Crafters show when I did explored the art of filmmaking in Southern Oregon. So I treat Leah as kind of like my good luck charm, and having her be my first guest for all new shows that I do. Anytime I have to pilot,
First one.
she's going to be my first guest. So that was because Bill Murray was like the first guest for David Letterman on each of his shows.
So your secret plans that I'm going to spill the beans onto the whole world right now regarding a exercise and fitness show, even though you already have a host for that, you're going to inflict that upon Leah as the first guest of that show as well?
No, not for that.
Okay.
Because that's a field production thing. So
Gotcha.
Right, but yeah, I had Leah and I had Brittany Rhea, who's a mutual friend of Leah and I, and Brittany's involved with Cafe Girl, and so I had them come on for that pilot episode to talk about all things that were current at the time with Cafe Girl, with all the web series that they do, because they have a Doctor Who series, they have this romance, Nate and Laura and how they met series, and and they just do a variety of things. So so I submitted that to the Northwest ACM, and lo and behold, it actually won. I submitted 4 things to the ACM, and that one won. So that was cool. That's my second win in film festivals ever, and for this year.
What's the first win,
Well,
David?
actually, this show earlier this month won at the Global India International Film Festival for Best TV Series,
Amazing.
making this show an international award-winning comedy talk show, the only one in Southern Oregon.
or America.
Or
perhaps.
So okay, I'm being alerted that we're down to the last 5 minutes.
Well,
5
I
minutes
want
already.
to say,
Yeah.
I am so proud of him. He is so diligent and he works so hard. He's so organized. I mean, it's just my son, the producer.
Spoken like a mother.
Yeah.
So symbolically, you should hold on to that.
Yeah, okay.
For the next 5 minutes, and then I'll
All
have to
right,
take that
yes,
back.
okay, yes.
And then I also wanted to thank the both of you, because I know Regina definitely in particular, but David this year as well, were diabolically responsible
Yeah, that's right.
for the printing and the publication and the manufacture of these particular pièces de résistance, these particular art objects, which for some reason have my name on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Talking about helping the producers. You called me the boss of the producers. I
Yeah.
can only think of the Malcolm in the Middle soundtrack. But certainly it's been my honor for the last 6.5 years now to be the coordinator and just trying to challenge the battlements and just trying to charge through and make it clear to the people of Southern Oregon and those local government people in particular, I got to watch out for them, that community media still matters. In fact, it matters now more than ever.
That's right.
And you're definitely an exemplar of community media making even this program.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. We all of us here at the studio, us fellow producers, very much appreciate all that you do to help us. When we always there's always like a little technical glitch. You're the one that's got the solution, because none of us have those solutions. And I'm continually amazed at your technical expertise. That we have a problem, we bring you in, you come in, and often it's like, oh, it's just this, and it's like, oh, okay,
I know it's amazing because we will be stumbling around trying this, trying that, and we're going, oh my gosh, call Charles. And you walk in and it's like just one look and, oh, that's it. Okay.
Now I'll say my other role here is to train other people how to do this so that I can make myself obsolete. That's always been my top objective here. And tonight you had your programming monitor out, and Keegan unplugged the cable and plugged it back in, and then it started working. So I'm already training the best to take over for me. So
Yeah,
I'd say
well,
we're in good
I
hands.
think-
We're in good hands.
I think-
No,
you know a little bit more
you
than
have
that, so-
more to train as
Yeah.
they come and they go, and you're the mentor, and you set them on their way. But we could never do without you.
That's right.
thank you,
Yeah.
Dorothy.
So yeah, we very much appreciate all that you do here.
All right, do we got time for my trivia question?
Yeah. So you want to do the trivia question?
yeah.
Okay.
I need a new pair of shoes for sure. Yeah, these
Okay.
boots are starting to get a little dusty.
All right. So now we're down to the 3 remaining categories of the night, and so that's the 2000s, Harry Potter, and Doctor Who.
Definitely 2000s.
2
Okay.
minutes left, Dave.
Okay. All right.
2 minutes for the 2000s.
Yeah. All righty.
I hope
Okay.
your question's easier than mine was.
All right. So.
Well, I'm not going to pick Sex and the City.
So the following question comes to us via Gmail from the show's ancestral home of the Nienow clan in Mapleton, Minnesota. Crater Lake is the 5th oldest national park in the United States and and the only national park in Oregon. The lake is 1,949 feet deep at its deepest point, making Crater Lake the deepest lake in the United States and the 9th deepest in the world. We'll make sure the Road Valley and the rest of the world know that for a fact. And so the trivia question category is the 2000s. Which 21-year-old actress was chosen sexiest woman alive by Esquire magazine in 2006, becoming the youngest ever winner?
2006. That would make her almost my age. Haha. Let's see.
She's relevant right now in the media.
Relevant right now in the media. What movie? Give me a movie.
And Avengers.
Avengers.
So that's a clue.
Answer. I know the
gosh.
answer.
Spider-Man.
Naomi Watts.
No. Can I do it?
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson.
that's right.
Right.
Scarlett Johansson.
You could have just told me South Africa.
Give
Then I would've
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, and she's the only woman to win that honor twice. The last time
Oh,
was in
wow.
2013.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say
Little known
Brooke
fact, my
Shields.
mom grew up in South Africa. So,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
you just give me that hint. I would've been all
Okay.
over it.
Well, I'm getting the signal to
wow.
wrap up, so we're like coming to the end of the show, Road Valley. We'll be back in 3 minutes or so for our next set of guests. So see you in a little bit. And
Bye.
yeah.
I'll split this
Alrighty.
with you, Charles.
Oh, that's okay.
Too soon now, Dave.
Well, we still what? We still have time?
We still have time.
God, Mike, you're
Let-
supposed to like give me a
Ad
Can,
lib.
can I,
Ad
Oh,
lib.
geez.
do I got time for my quote from Victor Hugo? You know,
Oh, yes.
He wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
He's-
very
he-
relevant.